it's Chantel with Wildberry Quilting, and today is a Flosstube update. We're going to start first with finishes and then new start, finishes, whips, and then new starts. So my first finish is my car cat. This is the piece that I work on in the car, or that I was working on in the car. Now he's finally finished. And this was from Coffee and I can't remember now what Etsy shop name is, but I will link them down below so that you can find them. But it is so cute. It really came out adorable. I can't wait to find just a mini little frame and put this up in my sewing room. Now, I did not want to do a great big honkin' signature on it, so I just did my initials and the year. I figured for such a small piece, that was probably the best thing to do. These butterflies, though, let me tell you, they were so much fun to stitch. I am glad that I saved them for the end. That was not really intentional. It was just the easiest way for me to do them once I had, things to, different landmarks to figure out where they needed to be exactly. But it ended up working out really well because they were just the icing on the cake. They were just so much fun to stitch. And I really enjoyed them. It's adorable. And now that I'm thinking about it, I might not hang it up in my sewing room. I might finish it as a gift for somebody because I know somebody who would absolutely adore this and she deserves it. So I think that might be its destination. Now, I have been collecting all of the floss, all of the little Ort floss from this project down here in this bag portion. I think really the idea was that this area would be used for keeping the chart, but instead it's become my loose Ort thread place. And then all of my little silk spools are right here, along with the scissors that fell out. And that is about to get cleaned out and filled up with the next project. So I'm excited, super excited about that. I already know what's going in there. Actually, you guys do too, because this video is coming out after the opening that I did for this Joyce Sunday chart that I'd gotten from New Craft Day. And it has a bicycle. I'm just going to pull out the picture so that you can see what that looks like. So this is going to be what I put into that bag and what I'll be stitching on now that my kitty cat is done. All right. So technically, I think that should have counted as a new start. Or, well, it's not really a new start yet. It's just plans. All right. The next finish. This one, I wonder if you guys can guess what it is that's going to be the finish. I bet you can. Do 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 do. Isn't she lovely? It is so beautiful. I really love this one. Now, actually, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, guys. I wanted to run and get the paper for this, though, so that I could tell you what company it was that made this. It is Alyssa or Elisa. I'm not sure which way they pronounce that. And says create your own collection. Rose and Butterfly is the name of the chart. And this was a full kit. It came with all of the floss and the fabric and everything like that. I will say this kit required more back stitching than what I did to it. There was some back stitching down here for like thorns on the vine or the stem. And I wasn't, over the moon with how those thorns looked. I thought they kind of looked a little funky. And there was some back stitching right here along the side of the stem there. And I started to put that in, and then I decided that I thought it kind of looked better without it. And I showed it to my daughter and she agreed. She thought it looked better without it. So I left it out. There was also back stitching up here around the petals. And I left that out too. The only back stitching that I actually did was on the butterfly. And I did consider doing the drop of water, but I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do that or not. I don't know. Does it look like an actual drop of water or does it look like back stitching? I'm kind of torn on that. I don't know. I could see it both ways. And from a distance, when I'm looking at it on camera, it looks like a water droplet. But then when I look at the image itself, I feel like it doesn't. Oh, and I did change the back stitching for the butterfly. So they had like one of the antennas was coming down here. One was going straight out and one was coming down below this little branch. And I just did them both straight up. I thought that looked better, at least in my mind. So that's what I did. And I put my signature on there too. I left off the little bee though, because I kind of ran out of space. And I put the date sideways this time. I don't know. I'm just kind of experimenting with my signature on here. I think it looks really good though. I'm loving it. And with the changes that I made, leaving out those back stitching areas, I don't really feel like it looks like it's missing anything. So I don't think I really need to go back in and add anything to it. I think it looks like it's complete. I'm thrilled with it though, and I cannot wait to get this. Like, this is definitely going to have to be framed and put up somewhere because it is just so beautiful. It makes me happy just looking at it. And it was such a pleasant stitch. It really was. It was relaxing and, relaxing. Now, the back, I think, came out pretty good. I don't think I had too many knots actually on this. I'm not seeing that many. Got a stray thread there, but I'm not really seeing where I had too much of an issue with knots. So that was nice too on this one. It was just, maybe that's part of why it was such a relaxing stitch. And that was 14 count. And I don't think that's Zweigart that they gave me. It does have a line through it, but it's a red line instead of an orange one. And it doesn't really feel like Zweigart to me, but maybe. All right. Now, one of the things I was concerned about with this one is that I was going to run out of floss. I was really, really concerned about that. And I was trying to be very conservative with my floss use. But I kept everything that I had left from it on the little organizer so that I could show you just how much floss I had left over. And it's surprising to me because I actually have plenty of floss left over. I did not run into any trouble whatsoever. And I don't think I ran out of a single color on here. I have leftover of everything. Now some of them is only like 2 strands left over. Yeah, I think that's 2 strands. But still, I mean, that's not bad. I have leftover. And I was really concerned that I was going to run out. Part of my concern was that this particular company does not, at least on this chart, does not provide you with the DMC color numbers. So if you run out, you're pretty much going to have to sit there and bring some little bits of floss with you to the store and try to color match. And or if you have a DMC actual thread book, that would be really helpful. That would be the way to go if you had one of those, and then you could sit there and just color match it to your card chart. But it didn't end up being an issue, and I wanted you guys to see that. I did have plenty left over. Now, I don't think I would have had any left over if I was not conservatively stitching. But if I wasn't conservatively stitching, I might still have been able to make it. I would have been squeaking it out, but I think I would have still made it. All right. What did we say next? We said we're going to do works in progress. So that would be these two. First, we're going to do our little strawberry jar. And as always, I have a great big piece of thread hanging off with a needle. Oh, I'm a mess. Why did I not stick this to my needle minder? Okay. Well, ignore the big thread hanging there. But I got a lot more done on this orange. I am like slowly working my way out from it. And I got up into this area some. And also down starting into here. And I think that orange is actually looking pretty good. So I'm excited about that. I think this actually might come out looking really nice. And you can see how much of it I got done by looking at the back there. Oh, I forgot. I did get like some random area. No, that was a different one. Never mind. Forget I just said that. So yeah, I actually got pretty far on it, considering the fact that, I haven't been able to stitch on it or hadn't been able to stitch on it for a while because of my thumb. My thumb is all healed up and good as new now. And I stitched on this so much the other day that I made my finger sore. So I do got to be careful. But I did get a bit further. So I'm excited about that. And I can't wait to get a bit further than that. I will say I have been, because I didn't have a car project, I've been grabbing this one and bringing it in the car with me. Oh, and by the way, I did change the bag it was in because I got done with this one and I thought it was really cute with the strawberries and stuff. I put one of my little strawberry zipper pulls on it. And I thought, strawberries and oranges is what is in that jar. It makes sense to put it in the strawberry bag. So I traded out the bag to hold, traded the project in the bag. So now I've got something different in that bag. which you're about to see in a little bit. All right. This could fall into the category of new start, but it can also, it's also a whip because I showed you guys that I was going to be starting this in the last video, the last update. And it is the moth to a flame. Isn't that beautiful? Look at it. Oh my gosh. All of this, I'm so glad that I decided to keep the black for the border because I think it just makes it all pop that much more. And then we've got the start of a wing. And look at those colors. It makes me think of a peacock. I mean, can you see the correlation? I feel like I see a peacock, like coloring wise, anyways, when I look at those colors. And it just makes me so happy. I love it. I think it's so beautiful. Now, I did run into one issue, and this has nothing to do with the pattern designer. This was all me. I made a mistake way back here. I made this vine a little bit too tall. It was, I think, 2 stitches too high. And I'm kind of sitting here going, like, what? I don't know that's going to work out. I might have to go back through and rip this out and redo this little part of the border here with the vines, with those leaves. I'm really hoping that I can work it out without doing that, but I don't think it's going to happen because if you see, the moth's wing comes all the way up to like 1 stitch away from those leaves, 2 stitches away from these leaves, 1 stitch away from that leaf. So I don't think it's going to fit over here when I get to that side. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that it was so close, I would just leave it and I think it wouldn't be noticeable because I don't think it's very noticeable that it's off just looking at it like this. It's the fact that the moth won't fit. So I'm a little bit bummed out about that. I'm like 99% sure that it's not going to work out there and I'm going to have to go back through and rip that out, which really stinks because I think, you know, my stitching was nice there. I think it looks good, but you know, it is what it is. It could be worse. I mean, at least I don't have to rip out all that, right? I mean, it's just this one area, like those 3 leaves and what's leading up to it. But other than that, I think it's looking fabulous and I can't wait to. Now, just so you guys are aware, because anybody who didn't see the previous video, I want you to know, this is what the moth looks like, what it was charted to look like. It's beautiful. It's very grays and blacks though, and I wanted something a lot brighter. So this looks very different than what it's charted to be. But this is from Sprouting Lupine is the name of this designer, and she is on Etsy. I will link her down below, just like the other ones. And this is 20 count spicy mustard is what I'm stitching it on. And if you guys want the color conversions that I did, let me know and I will include that in the next video when I get a little bit more of it done. I want to make sure that it's actually going to come out good before I pass along that color conversion because I don't want to mess up anybody else, you know? I don't want you guys to put in the time to make it look awesome and then it ends up not coming out because you followed my color conversion. So let me make sure it works out first and then y'all can copy it if you want. Now, this is the bag that I have for it. And I just got done with this one too. I love it. It's so cute. There is on the inside, which you can't see because the chart's in the way. There, I'm going to fold it down just a little bit so you can see, but it is bee skeps inside of it. It's so cute. And I put this little bird zipper pull that I have. Oops, he's turned around the wrong way. See if we can get him to face correctly. This little robin, I put that on there. I don't know that he really matches, but that was the closest that I had. So I figured I'd just roll with it. All right, new starts. Let's start with this one. We're going to actually have some progress to show you. Now this is the one that I recently got. Oh, where did I get it from? Let me check because I want to make sure I give credit where credit is due. This one is, this is from One Day Savings. And it is a Mona Lisa brand chart. And, you know, in case it wasn't obvious, this is what it's supposed to look like. It is with silky threads. So it's a little bit more challenging because you gotta work with all them silky threads, which at this point in time is tangled. That's not good. Here. Oh, good. I just turned it over and then it untangled itself. That's good. I was a little worried for a second there. That wasn't bad though. All right. These flosses are amazing. They just feel so soft. It's not real silk or anything, but they are gorgeous and they feel so nice. And I actually got quite a bit stitched on this. Quite a bit, I say. But this is a ginormous chart. It really is. It's absolutely huge. But I feel like I got a good start on it because I got all of this color of the butterfly done. So, and that was the main color of the butterfly. So now I just have to go back in and fill in the rest of the colors on him. And I'm probably just going to jump around is probably what I'm going to do. I was going to say I'll probably grow it out from there, which I might, but I also really want to see what some of these beautiful flowers are going to look like in the silky floss. So I also have this area right here that I did a random spot on. This is where I was thinking I'd done something random on the other one, but no, I did it random on this. And that was because I had one strand of floss that had worked its way out of containment. And I was like, I don't want this to get lost. So I'm just going to find a random place that I can put it in. And I did. I found one of the places where it called for it, and I just randomly did that area. And you can barely tell it's there because of all of the colors in the printed chart. But it's actually a pretty decent size little start there. You can see there's a few stitches. And then this is the butterfly from the back. And yes, I now have some really messy little tails here I need to trim off. I kind of left them long when I first started and I forgot to go back and trim them up. So yeah, that doesn't exist. Just ignore that. Oh, and of course, because I'm working on butterflies, I had to pick a butterfly needle minder to put on there. And this is one of the ones that I made from a pin from Alum Ink. That's who it is. And she makes the most beautiful pens. She just, oh, I absolutely adore her. All of her pins, they're just absolutely gorgeous. And she is such a sweetheart too. I order from her all the time because I just love her stuff. All right, so that was that new start. I have one left. Oh no, I'm stuck. I'm stuck on a zipper. Uh-oh. Okay. Yikes. I hope I didn't like mess up my floss there. I need to find one of those like long, hard plastic floss holders for this because I do not like how floppy this is. But I'm kind of thinking that I want to try out something other than these for the printed charts. I feel like, these are fantastic for the counted charts, but for the printed charts, I think I want to try out those hard plastic, long, just numbered ones. I think that would possibly be a really good solution for those. I'm not sure. I mean, I know you'd still have to reference then the number, but since the number is written next to the symbol on the canvas itself, I feel like that wouldn't be an issue. So that's part of the reason why I'm wanting to do that with those ones, because I don't know, there's just a lot of floss there, and I feel like I don't know why I think that would be better, but for some reason I feel like it might be better. So I'm going to try that out and tell you guys how I feel about it. But first I need to order some of those. All right. So this is a new start that I haven't officially started yet. I've got everything all kitted up and all of, it's ready to go, guys. But I have not started it a lick. I have not even put the fabric into a hoop yet. And I am so far behind because this is the fabulous house from May, right? This is the May one? Or is it, I think this is May, right? So I had gotten this late. Yeah, it is, because I got it late in the month. And it just took forever to get here. I don't know why. And when it got here, I was working on other things. So I kept putting it off and putting it off. And I know that the other one's probably already on its way to me and in the mail. And by the time you're watching this, it's probably already here. And yeah, but I've got everything finally kitted up for it. I just need to frame up my fabric and start it. And I'm planning to do it on this 18 count ivy. I'm thinking, I had a little bit of going back and forth on it, what I was going to do it on it. And I asked you guys, and you guys were kind of torn as to whether I should do it on blue or on green. But the more I look at the pattern, the more I feel like a tree house needs to have a lot of green. And this pattern just doesn't have a lot of green. It's like hardly any. So I'm going to see if doing green fabric will kind of help pacify my need for green for the tree house. And I think that all of these colors work really well on it. I did change out the green because the green that they had on there, it was different from, you could see it on against this, but I didn't feel like it was enough contrast. So I tried to pick something more on the darker green side to really make it pop. And I'm hoping that this is going to come out really good. I think part of why I was procrastinating with it is because I've just been kind of unsure on it and nervous about how it's going to turn out. But I need to just get to it and hoop it and get it started. And I think it'll all work out fine. And I put it into this little bee bag that I've got. And it's got like this little charm on it, which I got to tell you about these guys. I'm going to have to do a video just letting you guys know about this. But I will tell you, these are small little charms, and I got the idea for them from, oh, what is her name? Her name is Sherry, I believe. And her channel is Joyful Home Presents. That's it. And she's the one who had unboxed something similar to this in one of her videos and kind of let me know, I found out from her video where I could get those. I'm going to have to tell you guys all about them though. So check her videos out because she's a sweetheart and she just seems like a really nice person. And last time I checked, she's really, really close to 1,000 subscribers. So maybe give her a little bit of love too, if you don't mind. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And everything that I mentioned here, I will link in the description box below. So take a look there if you're interested in any of this stuff. I will see you guys again next time. Bye.